Well, police in the Netherlands have arrested 2 suspects over the shooting of prominent investigative journalist Peter De Vries. The men are due in court on Friday. Authorities are investigating links to De Vries's reporting on a major criminal gang. European leaders say his shooting was also an attack on freedom of the press.
Peter De Vries is known for exposing the Dutch underworld, sometimes digging up evidence to help bring justice to victims and speaking out for survivors. Now the investigative journalist lies in an Amsterdam hospital fighting for his life. This surveillance footage shows De Vries walking down a nearly empty street moments before he was attacked. A gunman shot him up to 5 times, including once in the head. People have come to the scene of the crime to lay flowers, to think of his contributions to Dutch society, and to pray for his recovery.
If you think of all these subjects in the past years and his opinion, his work that he contributed to society, you cannot think him away. So I just hope that everything's going to be fine with him.
I hope that he will survive this. Because he's a very important person in Holland and in journalism.
De Vries had been recently involved in the trial of the alleged leader of a criminal organization prosecutors called an oiled killing machine. The 64-year-old had long been considered a possible target of the criminals he reported on. 2 suspects are in custody in connection with his shooting. They are scheduled to be in court on Friday. A 3rd man was detained but later released. Police have not revealed a possible motive, but journalists, politicians, and citizens believe the attack is aimed at silencing reporters.
We also think that journalists who might be targeted by organized crime must be protected. It's very important. And it is very important that this murder attempt does not have a chilling effect on Dutch journalists working on criminal affairs.
The Netherlands rarely sees violent crimes, but some say their apparent targeting of De Vries has shaken their sense of security.
DW's Max Zander's in Amsterdam following this story for us. He joins us now. Max, is there any update on Peter De Vries' condition? What are you hearing there?
Right, so we know Peter De Vries is in hospital and he's being heavily guarded by police due to security reasons. Also due to security reasons, most likely there's not much information coming out of the hospital. What we know from reports is that he was struck here in the street where I'm standing here right now. He was apparently shot in the head, so we have reason to believe he's in a very critical condition. And this is also what a fellow journalist colleague, the chief of RTL, where Peter De Vries was attending a talk show just in the hour before he was shot here, reiterated that Peter De Vries is in hospital and he indeed is still fighting for his life.
What about the suspects? What more do we know about them and their motives?
Well, 2 men were apprehended by police, were arrested in the hours after the shooting. They were traveling in a car outside of Amsterdam, had left the city approximately 40 kilometers from the city when they were pulled over by police. One of the suspects is a 35-year-old Polish citizen. The other is a 21-year-old Dutch citizen. One of them is believed to be the shooters. The police have subsequently searched their apartments. They came up with hard drives. They also came up with ammunition. And another interesting piece of information here is that the Polish citizen apparently was in police custody prior to the shooting a week before this. It's not yet clear under what circumstances. As to their motives, also a lot is still in the unknown. Peter De Vries is the top criminal journalist here in the Netherlands. He's been shining a light on the criminal underworld for the last 40 years, so he has a lot of enemies. But still, it's not yet clear whether or not or how this work influenced this attempt on his life.
What's the reaction been like there in Amsterdam?
Well, a journalist being shot in a Western democracy or in Western Europe in a busy city, that's something that doesn't happen every day. So naturally, the continent, the nation and the city was or is still in shock. As you can see behind me, this is the area. This is the spot where Peter De Vries was shot the day before yesterday. And people came by to pay their respects, to lay down flowers, to light candles. There were pretty heartwarming, poignant personal messages to Peter De Vries for him to get better. So for many people here, he is seen as a hero who they idolize, and there's a lot of wishes for him to get better soon.
All right, Max, thank you. DW's Max Sander in Amsterdam.